Right.
Keep an eye on that. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I think you might see some pop up on the partition. Right then, guys, we've a bit of hush for a second. I'm just going to introduce tonight for who's there on Zoom at home. I think there's only one person at the moment, but more will join us. First of all, welcome everyone to Jurassic Divers Wednesday evening planning session. We are joined with a group of people. Like to introduce yourself. Who are you? Terry,
Steve,
James,
Dan, Steve Fox, John Bunker,
Roger Hoyle,
and myself, Dave Collins. Right, so what we're going to do, basically the format is we're going to run to about 7:40, have a 5-minute break, which will then allow people to log out and then log back in. We're going to obviously get down for the passage planning, which we've got. Hopefully people at home have got a picture of the passage plan we've already sent out. Okay. Also, yesterday I sent out some pictures, which is our tidal planner, which makes life a lot easier as well. That will come relevant in a minute. If anyone, this is where I get the sell in. If anyone wants to do any more about charts and like to get involved, we do run BSAC Seamanship chart work courses. So if you want to contact me, give us a shout. It's a 2-day course, day in the classroom, day on the rib. We go out and find some rec sites and all that, all happy days. Hello. Good evening. Take a seat, sir. Kettle's down there. That's all right. We've just started anyway. So I'm on Zoom anyway. So, right. So what we're going to look at is this chart here, guys. This is the area of operation. So I take it we're all familiar with this. We've all seen it umpteen times before. All right. Just to give people a heads up at home, obviously Portland Mariner's in here. Most of the sites we tend to do, obviously Black Hawk, Durdle Door, Bat's Head Reef, White Nove, Ringstead, our favourite Hartlepool, which is there, British Inventor, Alex Van Osval. The Golden Sunset is in round here somewhere, right? So there's a search on that, allegedly. We got obviously Valley Bay Drop Off, Grove Point, Sudan, Pulpit Rock, Aerials, Gertrude, James Fennell, Barnstorm, and the other one. And along here, roughly, is the Adelaide-ish. All right.
How far along is St Dunstan?
St Dunstan is off the chart. M2 is here.
Too far then.
M2's there. Right. Skye is right over here. Okay. All right, to give you an idea. Obviously, this all works on our 6 o'clock window normally, but obviously some of the tides when we plan them, we might realise that something like the M2 is doable, but it might mean an earlier ropes off at 4:30 possibly, depending on what people want to do. It is for the club. It is going to be very diving, but it's nice to do some deeper stuff to keep other people occupied as well. We got Steve Fox in the room. He's obviously got to do his advanced diver. So do you want to just quickly run through what your thoughts are?
Yeah, just so everybody's aware, the idea is I have to plan 2 days of diving or 2 diving trips to sites that the club has not dived before. So I'm sort of thinking of sites that are relatively shallow because that gives more people opportunity to be involved, and ones that aren't too tidally dependent. So some of you might know there's a new sort of Dorset Dives book. There's talking now of a dive out from Warbarrow Tout with also some wreckage. And potentially I've been talking to Dave and maybe I could plan one of our exploratory drives to find the Golden Sunset. And maybe we could run that as an evening trip, maybe not on a Wednesday, but another evening. Dave's very kindly offered that potentially we could use his rib, or if there's enough people interested, we might be able to use Wave Rider, because it's also something he has to sort of supervise to see that I don't get anybody killed or whatever. So that's something that ideally I would like to try and do this year, if possible. And if anybody else has got any ideas of sites they particularly like to try and go to, maybe they've dived before but not with the club, and they've got ideas of things they'd like to try and do, then let me know.
There's always one child in the room, isn't there? Put it on silent, right, please.
The high chair.
So carry on, Steve.
Yeah, so if anybody's got any ideas of any other sites they particularly like to do, yeah, just sort of let me know. But I think at the moment we're sort of thinking maybe the Warbarrow Tout Dive, and might be some other sites in Warbarrow Bay that we could explore or look for, and yeah, potentially see if we could do a dive looking for the Golden Sunset or some of the other kind of potential areas where that might be.
Yeah, and obviously, just a recap on the Golden Sunset. For those who've looked at the presentation, we have got about 6 hits, potential hits. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of them is going to be very scenic dives, I would imagine. But if something happens to something little different, and we might just do it on the rib and just do a couple of fun things and just go out of an evening, make the most of it. Or if somebody's got a Thursday off, we'd do something like that. But anyway, watch this space. Right then, guys, I'm just going to crack on. Just going to go through the planning sheet so everyone understands what we've got. I'm just going to zoom it in one more. One thing you notice on yours, we've made one little error on it, so that's what that little pen scribble is. So don't worry. There's one we didn't fill in. We turned it to 7th now, so the guys will put that in. Just to recap what this is all about, I'm just going to do the first column. Obviously, I'm being a bit thinking it would start in March, but there's more chance we're going to start in beginning of April. But just in case, looking at the very first one, we got high water time there at 1640. Height of the water is 1.5. The next low water is 9:34 the following day with a height of 0.4, which gives us a total range of 1.1 meters. Then the tide state is what I call coming up to neaps. It means it's not full neaps, but it's in that neapy area. So we've actually got quite a good dive. Due to the fact that we leave at 6 o'clock, I'm allowing roughly about half an hour to get the most of the sites we visit. So the actual sea state then will be classed as plus 2 hours after high water. To be exactly, we'll be 1840. But that's giving us a 10-minute leeway, which, like all diving, we need that little bit extra anyway. And then what we've got there is the blank columns to fill in as we go through. So, very first dive, depending which way we're going to start, we could be possibly start in March. You want to start in March? Yeah, everyone says start in March. Right, it's going to be a shakedown dive. So just looking at the +2 guys, first of all, we're just going to open up our planners. What copy there in front of you? 2 hours after high water. All right, just put that in the area there. Obviously, for anyone who doesn't know what one of these mean, I'm just going to quickly give you a 2-second talk on it. The longer the arrow, the stronger the tide. Okay, the smaller the arrow, the slacker the water. So at +2 after high water Portland, we've got an area here which is classed as slack. BSAC recommends a maximum of 0.5 of a knot to be a slack dive. Anything over 0.5 is then classed as a drift dive. So therefore, anything up to a 0.5 is a wreck dive. Anything after that is going to be down the beach a little bit faster. So looking at this one here, for example, what we're looking at is this area around here, which is obviously in that +2 area. So obviously being the first dive of the year, we want something a bit of a shakedown dive. So what's the maximum depth we're looking at? Not 28 meters, is it?
No,
27.
I was going to suggest after our Christmas, where the lower and the dredger was fine, wasn't it?
I was going
to say dredger or belly because you can do whatever depth you want there, Dave.
Because there are all chances there might be some fish that blown again.
But on the dredger down in Bally Bay here, yeah? Well, let's put that down there. Little shakedown dive there. The dredger, which is about 6 to 15 meters along the wall there.
Just last year we did the hard shakedown dive. The fish was wrong.
Yeah. Right, just be careful, guys. Obviously, for people who's at home, to get too much.
No, I was giving him the footing to the opening where you can only get involved if you're going to dive.
All right, that's fine. All right, so the very first one. So obviously we put down that. Once again, it's only going to take us about sort of 20 minutes. So once again, it'll be a 6 o'clock ropes off. We've got the maximum depth there is between 6 and 15 meters if you want to head towards the wall. All right, and that is basically slack all states of the tide, so it's not going to be a problem. Right, going to move on to the next one now, which is the second.
Sorry,
of the
were there any sheets I could just log with any spares in there at all?
Um,
Sorry, I don't know if you have. Oh, amazing.
do you want one? I can print the one off if you want, John.
Oh, no, mate, I don't want to rub your doors.
I can print one off.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's make sure there's no stain on.
Sorry.
Right. So the next one we've got.
Just a quick one about that. How you limit to daylight? Because that's still winter time, isn't it?
We do have the almanac there, and there's a section on the daylight hours. So what are you thinking?
No, I was thinking of that one. What time does it get dark that time?
It's-
Before we get the clocks changed. Because the clocks change on the weekend.
We should be all right. If you look now, 5:15 now, it's still light, isn't it? So it's by the time we start, we're going to be fine. The only issue we tend to get is in September, when we it's middle of September. That's when we start losing. This time of year, it shouldn't be an issue. Right, second of the fourth. All we're going to look at now is we got a -4, guys. 4 hours before high water. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? As you see, we've got loads of big tide. So we've got a little bit around here, all along here and along here. So what do you want to do? Want to keep it simple first of all, the first couple?
Probably given that the chances are the first one might not get subscribed or.
Well, exactly. And at the end of the day, going right the way round to things like the James Fennel and so on like that, which is doable, it's going to be a long trek. It's going to be expensive because obviously Nick's going to need paying. So you're looking, I reckon you're looking along, your door, your Ringstead, your White Nose sort of area, but partly Paul,
first one might be a problem for light, Dave. 6:32 sunset. That first one might be a problem for light. It's 6:32 sunset on that day.
Yeah, but
It's in the
it's
shadows
down by
well,
the
isn't it?
harbour. It's an evening dusky dive.
Yeah, do it at night.
Evening dusky. Yeah, see what happens. If not, we can always fail safe on the.
I mean, if it's still early doors, Dave, what about, dare I say, Countess for something like this?
You could do, yeah. You can always
It's not very
remember.
adventurous, of course, but I mean, if it's like first couple of dives.
Yeah, obviously the other thing we haven't talked about yet is the weather.
Yeah.
So we can plan anything, but the weather is going to do what it's going to do. So we're going to look at options anyway. So I'll just float around the room. So what do you want to do second one? Any thoughts?
Outside.
Do you want to do Bat's Head?
White nose.
That's the white note on the two.
Bat's Head?
A lot of options there.
Yeah, well, okay. That's fine. Once again, I mean, that's, so if you look at Bat's Head, what we need to look at is what the Bat's Head is doing on the back of the sheet. What's the slack water time for Bat's Head? Because it says we can have it as a drift dive. So it's going to be a slight drift across it, and it's not going to be completely slack.
3
is
hours
it?
before high water and 2 to 4 hours after.
Yeah. So it's going to be like a gentle bumble across, which will be fine. All right, so it'll be fine. Okay, so if we can write that down, then Bat's Head reef for the second one. Depth-wise, we're looking between 8 and about 14 meters. All right. Once again, be 6 o'clock again, shouldn't be a problem. Right, we've got a nice neap tide coming up, and we're half an hour after high water on the 9th. Right, as you see, we are limited now. I'm just moving this back in again, guys. So completely dead in all round here. This is where me and James loves doing the railway line wreck.
Gary's favourite.
But it is 28 meters. That's the thing. But it's a nice, The other one would be the brandy bottle wreck as well. If you want to do 28 meters, that's the other one around here as well. Okay, that's going to be
That's a bit exposed, is that?
Well, don't worry about the exposed part at the moment.
No,
It's all about your depth and what you want to do. Do you want to just do some more build-up ones? Because
Quite a deep dive to do if it's still fairly dark at that time of the year.
what you can do the Valley Bay drop off there, anywhere around there. you know.
You pick your Dave. You pick your depth on there as well.
Yeah, you can pick your depth. Growth point, you can pick your depth as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we the same for growth point growth maybe?
Yeah, in that area. You know what I mean? Growth would be good. All right. Growth point. Once again, 6 o'clock. You pick your depth. You're starting off at 12, 15 down to 30 meters if you wish. Okay. 16 for the 4th. We're coming off of springs. We're -3. Three hours before. Right. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, 3 hours before. We've got a big area there now. This one here.
Could do.
You've got the Benny, you can go around, you know, depending on what you want to do. You can do something on the banks, do the British Inventor, it'd be spot on for that, completely slack. Be bang on slack for that one, right in the middle there.
Where's the Benedict on that map? Is that the
Benedict is around here.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But he's 28 meters again. I think once again, I think it'd be nice to pick up, maybe hit the bank somewhere, wouldn't it?
Okay.
British Inventor. Yeah. Scallop dive. Bum, 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 bum. Right, we're now 23rd of the 4th. We're just coming off a neap. Neap's coming off, so that means it's a day after the neap. So once again, there's a good little tide there. And we're +2.5, so that's going to be right. So we got this area here. So if I just move the my chart back so we can see it. So we've got this area here, all around here we can do. You can do Black Hawk if you want. You can't do Golden Sunset because that really wants to be 2.5 hours before. Up to you guys.
Black Hawk maybe?
Black Hawk?
Brings a few up.
Yeah, Black Hawk's good, yeah. Yeah, okay. Black Hawk. Blackie Hawk. Hopefully somebody's writing all these down, are they? Well done, Steve.
Black Hawk, we're doing 23rd of the 4th, yeah?
Yeah, Black Hawk. Right, now we've got 30 for the 4th, -3. Going back the other way. As you can see, we've got loads of tide on the west side of the bill. So we're obviously in this area here now. So we've got.
I think there's a 7, Dave.
The side of Sudan.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
It's quite shallow, that one.
Although it was
18 to 20 odd.
It was all right on a good drift. It was clear.
It was a nice dive.
You could do that on there because you're on that 0.4. Oh, what are we on? Yeah, we're on.
Sudan's down towards
So
the-
not a lot of it, but coming
side
off
was
big
Sudan.
springs.
Yeah, so that is we're on a big spring. We don't really. You can have a very, very shallow window there, but it's only going to be 0.6. You try that area with a ledge or something, didn't you?
There's a lot of options. The last time we did.
Yeah, because what's happening in the hour? Because you actually look at the next hour, it turns around the other way again. So you know, it's anywhere around that little area. What we're looking at. Anywhere on this area here, in it, on the ledge. The ledge or down here, isn't it? Yeah. Because it's been quite nice along this here. You can start, it's about 22. If you want to go down deeper, you can go down to 24, but you can go on, stay on top of the ridge here, or you go in here. Because it's always running over there, but that's a slack pier, so there should be a lot of life there. Yeah.
Okay. So what's that? The Sudan?
Sudan, is it Sudan or
Sudan.
Sudan. As
Sudan.
in the country.
Yeah. But I think the Sudan might be question mark stroke ledge. The ledge, because I think you may not. You don't know.
Is that the 30th day?
That is
Yeah. So depth wise, what we talking
That was the 30th. Yeah. Right. We're now moving down onto the 7th of May. We're actually on Neeps +2 again. +2. This is where we look at the history of what we've done before. See if we can sort of vary it slightly.
Could do Walbrook Tout, I suppose, 7th of the 5th.
Where's that to, sorry?
Walbrook Tout, we could do that, let's discuss as well, sure.
Well, again, we were thinking about doing that. That's on a Wednesday night, but I suppose we could.
Yeah, the only thing is, it's quite a long distance. It's going to be an hour's track.
It's neat. Yeah, because we're not going to get there in half an hour. Are we?
No, it's going to be an hour really to get there realistically. It's going to be. That's it, won't move. Yeah.
So it's neat.
So what have we got then, guys? Which area are we looking at?
So it's neat coming up +2 hours. What are we saying for the golden sunset? We're saying
The golden sunset is it's -2 hours 15. The same as the Alex. All right, so that's that. You're going to miss it because it's running. All right. This is this slack window me and Steve talked about, but I think you're going to be right on that edge there.
Have you got the current chart?
Sorry,
What time are we looking at?
+2.
+2.
All right.
Right.
So you've got landing craft on the banks. You've got, you know.
What about the land thing on the banks?
I think we've got that down. That's the way open.
He's on the tail end here, isn't he? He's there. That's the landing craft there. All right.
Not on the no, the land.
What's that one in there? Where's the landing craft then?
That was small. That's the one you want. Yeah, that's the one there. Yeah. So what are you going to try for the landing craft on the banks?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What sort of depth is that, Dave?
It's going to be, well, it's charted here at 18.5, but you're talking, it's 20 meter.
Yeah.
You know, it's all level dive, which is great. I'm just going to check in any more participators. No, just the 3. Okay, it's being recorded, so we can put it on the old thingy anyway. 14 for the 5th. Is that where we are, guys?
Yes, that's where we are.
All right, good. So good job, John's keeping it on. So -2.5 hours before. Oh, we're slack everywhere. Look at that. And what are we on?
So it's
We're on a spring. Ugh.
Yeah.
Look at that. LNR, spot on. Shambles, spot on. But it's.
For 20 minutes.
I'd love to say shambles, but there's nothing there. There's just nothing there. It's just dead. Absolutely dead. This is golden sunset territory, but you don't want to do that on the spring. You know, you can stay on there long, really. But you've got anywhere around there, you've got, you know. Remember, the spring's the second thing, so you go around both, put your half a knots. It's going to be a sort of drifty anyway. So it's like this whole chunk over here. I'm trying to keep it variable, but you know, you are looking at the season. There is this, what's it called again? What's it's a record game?
So, the British inventor.
Got your bum in there, definitely somewhere.
It could be a drift across the, you know, British inventor or something like that. Scallop in the game. A bit of record. I don't know. I mean, it's
Lots of nice stuff to look at on the inverter, isn't there? Nice.
yeah. You know, what I mean, it is a popular one because
Yeah.
it ticks all the boxes. See a bit of wreckage,
Yeah.
and you go scalloping.
What's that briny Victoria thing like? Is that any
We've
good, or is it-
dived it once. It's sat on like a sandy,
Okay.
flat sandy bottom. I expect there's loads there for you to do all the really small stuff,
Yeah.
but it's just there
Yeah,
aren't
a
wreck,
bit
and he's on it, so
uninspiring.
it's not that big. We've
Yeah.
dived it once, and I thought
it's no longer than
I
this
don't
one, is
really
it?
want to. No,
No
we
longer
did we
this one.
dive it? No, it's
No, I did a
very,
training dive once. But
yeah, it's
just a
not.
concrete one, yeah.
All right, so we'll do the British inventor then on that one. All right, now we've got a plus. We're on a neat tide, but we're on. It's not classed as low water because we've got this double low, but it's +6. Right, this is where we can get exciting. We can get bums on seats.
That's the
Yeah,
red
you're right, looking
spear.
area of fennel, aren't you? In that sort of area. Always got no clothes on, isn't it? Whatever you want to do, guys. It is a neep, so we could, you know, but then it's flat round there anyway, so it's up to you.
What about the aerials in James Fennell? Or suggest that area?
That's the area we're looking at, I think, realistically. Yeah.
James Fennell's nice. Well, Errol's nice too.
Yeah.
Errors is nice.
Maybe. Yeah.
Steve, make a decision. What you want to
It's
do?
going to take longer, take 30 minutes to get around there, though, isn't it? Yeah, so is that going
It's going to take an hour, but it just means, yeah, but it's, we might leave a little bit, we'll leave at 5:30. It'll be 5:30.
Right, so I'm going to say James Fennell or aerials. Aerials.
I'm running out of time, but supposed to be 45 minutes. Yeah. So I've got another 10 minutes. Okay, so we're happy with that. We got something, have we, Steve?
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Something.
So we got something. Right, now 28th of May, we're on a spring -2. So we've got, once again, everything back the same old thing. If you look at your history of what you've done already, you'll see the same sort of scenario again. It's somebody goes over a certain nice, isn't it? You know.
So what's
But we are on.
so it's going to be whatever what time
We are on a spring, so it's going to be a drift dive summer, isn't it, guys?
If we did the Black Horn again, would the drift be eastwards?
When you do the Black Hawk, you can. I think that will be the Black Hawk will be slack because it's there is no time.
Yeah, that's right.
So you
Kind of
know
off the map
you
anyway,
could go
isn't it?
that way, but you know, or
Bat's head's nice on the drift.
or you do dirt or door in the sea cave. You know what I mean? When you, if you got, you know, if it's on a spring, that's always a good one for that one. It's a spring, so dirt or door. You know.
Let's talk about we could do the wheelbarrow tout idea potentially, or but again we're going to maybe not do that on a Wednesday. But we could do it then, maybe. I'm going to be away then.
Yeah, well,
No.
Is that a tiny little wreck on the sandy bed? The one you were talking about? All right.
what do you want to do? Dirt or door sea cave? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
It's a spring anyway, so you know, I mean, it's one area we can get involved in. Okay. 4th of June now. Right. This is where we get our juices flowing now. We're coming up to Neeps and it's a +4. So what does +4 mean, guys?
What? Anyway, like
What does +4 mean?
M2.
Means we can do quite a lot. We can do the M. We can actually do M2 pulpit rock anywhere around here. LNR we can do. All right, that sort of stuff there. I mean, this is what it's something different we can do. So you go and you can do your pulpit, which is quite nice to do. You can try the M2, but M2 means you're going to be leaving 4:30. So it's going to be about a 2-hour trip.
It's going to limit the containers straight away.
But then it ticks the boxes. People want to do a deeper one. But then if you don't get enough numbers, we move to plan B.
Well, should we put it as 2 options, which is M2 if we can find the numbers,
Or
pulpit.
Or deeper closer. Eleanor.
Or that.
Which the difference is with the Eleanor, you've got a depth. Pulpit, you can pick your depth. It starts off at 15. It's like a pair of steps. Yeah. You know what I mean? If they want to go deep, they can. If they want to go shallow, they can stay around the 15, 20 meter mark.
Leave it pulpit.
M2 or pulpit and just see what.
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah,
anyway.
both.
M2 pulpit. All right, 11th of the 6th. We're coming up to Springs, and it's 1.5 hours before. So we're in between these two. All right, so obviously 1 hour after, it's not looking good anywhere. All right. Okay, so the next hour, it does drop. So we're in between. All right, so we're in between it. So it is fast and it's dropping down. So all we're looking at is maybe a Grovey Point area or anywhere around there. One site Nick did say about is Church Oak Cove, which you've never done.
Oh, right. Okay.
Not the big plunge hole.
I need to go down the
But there is a ridge alongside it. You know, you're going to end up going north, which is good. The plunge hole that's the plunge hole there. So what we're looking is along here somewhere. You know, yeah. And then the tide's actually going to kick you north, isn't it?
Good.
It's kicking you. It's going north, so you know, it's a good time to do it. It's Church Oak Cove. All right. Right, we've got 5 more minutes, then we're going to have a break for a minute. So I want to make sure the kettle's on. Right, 18 for the 6. We're a -6 the other side now. We had a +6, now we've got a -6. Ooh. 6 hours before. Oh, look at that. That's thundering through, isn't it? Thundering. So you've either got the Hartley pull or you've got Dave's fennel. Put the fennel down, yeah.
We're going to get down there quick.
Yeah.
Just getting back.
Yeah. Well, once again, we are in. Yeah, we just hitting the tide going back. That's not a problem.
What about the Gertrude? That's intriguing.
The Gertrude, you just got to swim north. It's the shallower one. Yeah. Right. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to put the kettle on for a second. If you guys want to look at the next one, which is the 25th, which is another -1 hour again. A -1. So I'm just going to put this on the screen while I put the kettle on, and then we'll stop. Yeah, coming up to Springs.
Okay.
Oh, lovely. Well, no, no. Yeah. My last dive was September 23.
All right, well, we're going to change that.
I know. But I was going to try and show you. Go back here. I'd be there for work, that's true. But this was fish soup on the Bay Guitar with dive set. There's only 5 of us on the boat on Wayfinder.
Okay.
It was nice, and the trouble is, you got to think, what did you do after
2 minutes
that?
left.
Yeah, it's not. I was sure.
Because
it's 2 sections of the
He was on with my foot.
Yeah.
What are we looking at, guys?
But we went east,
So,
and then we went north.
15,
What
15
feet was we went north? It's just weird. But
video is on
the
YouTube.
topography was
That's me.
fascinating.
It was
What was that on that?
shipwreck stuff.
Yeah.
Richard
On the
did
ridge.
But we relied on
If you go over it, you're surprised you don't see
Yeah.
from the rest.
Just don't put out around this. And it's actually quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Richard
Should we make a
yeah.
decision on this one?
Yeah. So easily.
I mean, let's talk about again. We're not going to do this Wall Barrow Tower dive on that day.
Yeah.
25th and the 6th. But again, we
Uh,
can do that
Yes.
on a Thursday
So-
or on Wednesday, but whatever. Or whatever. But
You know, there's Messerschmitt there, don't you?
It's
I'm
going to be
going to
running a
hijack
bit.
it
Let's
from
just
my
wait in
agenda.
Wolverhampton.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
thing in BZAP magazine about it.
Ooh.
South section of Blackhawk.
Yeah, Dave.
Off the bat. Not the south section.
Again, we got to get over there. So we got potentially, what's it like? Look on this again. We have a long way to go and half an hour.
But it's going to take you an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to take you an hour again. But once again, we're right in the summer. You know what I mean? It just means we're going to be an hour later. So actually, if you put an extra hour on, so we're actually going to be there, aren't we? We're going to be between there, aren't we? If we're going to be half an hour later.
Messy.
So it stays about the same, but it's going to be running at 1.6 knots. So it is
So
running
it's
a little bit
picking
past
up
there. It is picking up a
hours,
little
so.
bit. Where you've got anywhere around Ringstead, close in, you're all right. Or so if you go around by Grove Point, Valley Bay drop-off area, you know what I mean? You're all fine there. Hartlepool, you're fine. Do you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You're always fine on the Hartlepool. But